Scooby-Doo.
Hey everybody, I'm Michelle Carre.
And I'm Matt Carre.
And we are the Carre Group with Redline Real Estate, and you're watching Riding in Cars with Cars. So today we are off to pick up Melanie Taylor from Life of Wellness. And what do we want to do in this show?
Well, one of the things we always want to do is let people know how great the city of Airdrie is.
And shoulder check when we change lanes.
Lanes. And it's always, I've lived in a lot of different places, and I've always said what makes any area great is the people. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to get to know some different people. We know Melanie a little bit. You know her better than I do.
Yeah.
Our first three guests we knew quite well. So this will be a little bit different. But I've met Melanie at a few different networking events, seen her at Good Earth quite a bit, but never had a chance to really get to know her.
Yeah, so we're going to go pick her up now and learn a little bit more about her. Well, welcome, Melanie. Welcome to the car. How are you today?
Really good. Really
awesome.
good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. We're excited to talk to you a little more about you. So, Matt, why don't you kick us off? What do you want to know first?
Well, Melanie, as you know, we really try to have fun in these little ride-alongs, but unfortunately, this time I do want to start off with a very, very serious question,
okay.
And so we're going to take it down just a little bit.
All right.
But I think it's important to know, I just got my hair cut. How do I look?
Well, that's pretty good. You got your ears lowered a little bit.
I did. It looks okay.
That's good.
It's better than doing it in the middle of the summer when you got the tan marks.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Just get those tan marks ready now.
Okay. Now we can
get
out
of the way.
Ease it up. We can take the tension out.
Yeah.
We can all stop
so
the stress.
You have less stress now. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Perfect.
I want to start with your journey to your company, Life of Wellness, because it kind of started from a place of stress personally. So, do you want to share that story with us?
Absolutely. So I've been a coach pretty much my whole life. I've been training and development my whole life. And not too surprising that working 80-hour work weeks, being a volunteer in my community, being a mother and a wife and a friend and a daughter, I ended up in a really bad place of burnout. My body shut down. I got really sick. It took about 6 months to get better from a liquid diet to that's how bad things were.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and so really, I don't want to say anything bad about the doctors I had. They all did the best with the knowledge they had, but nobody could solve the problem. And it really took a collaboration of a bunch of different people and my own desire to learn. And I remember thinking one day when I was really at the worst of it, and I said, okay, my favorite saying is get curious, not furious. How do I get curious about what's happening to me?
Yeah.
An hour later, I was registered at Mount Royal to go back to university, and it's really all started from there.
Wow.
Good for you.
So you discovered that stress was kind of the base of everything that was happening within your body.
Absolutely. And it was interesting that once I actually recognized that, I started feeling better right away. It's an interesting journey and an interesting story. I obviously had to face the stressors and come up with strategies and learn a lot, but just recognizing that stress was the biggest part of the problem, I felt better.
Wow.
It was a really interesting way to come to where I am now, and to know that after all of that, all I wanted to do was not let anybody else go through this alone, scared feeling that I was going through. I felt like there was nobody to advocate for me. And so that's really where this all started.
So what do you do in your business? What services do you provide?
Well, my focus again is on stress reduction. Depression and anxiety are my key focuses. But I know from myself and others that I've worked with and all my learning is that not one thing's going to work. So it's really important that I'm empowered and ready with a number of different ways to support you. So we do coaching. Coaching is a great way to talk out what's happening, strategize, and really create a road forward. But talking isn't always accessible. So I also provide therapies that are stress reduction based. So Thai massage therapy, aromatherapy, mindfulness based, so meditations, things like that as well. But it's really about understanding each individual person and what's going to support them, not about me putting together a 10-step program you're going to go through. It's really making it individual to the person.
Customized. Absolutely.
Are there any companies that you can share with us and some of the success stories that you've had?
Absolutely. one of my favorite stories is working with nonprofits locally here in Airdrie. So working with organizations like ADVAS for victim services, and really not just understanding that they're dealing with stress all day in their clients that they're working with, but that the volunteers and workers at victim services certainly do have their own stressors to face. So we've done a workshop with them already, and we're planning our second one. And I also did a workshop with the city of Airdrie to all of the nonprofits that were available to come and really understand strategies that they could take back to their nonprofits, and working both with employees and with volunteers. I love volunteering. It's a big part of my heart. I've been with Volunteer Airdrie for 6 years now.
Wow. Congratulations.
And being able to give back to our community in such a big way is a big part of what I love about Airdrie. So it's been really great working with our local nonprofits as well.
Yeah.
One of the other workshops that I had a lot of fun was working with the Chamber of Commerce and being able to provide information to our local businesses on really understanding that stress is not just one thing, or that dealing with health and wellness is not just one thing. It's not just about having healthy snacks on the table at lunch hour. It's really understanding that there are 8 components of health, and how each organization, whether you're small or whether you're a larger corporation, has opportunities in order to create healthy work environments.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I think we often kind of think of health and wellness as just, having fruits and veggies and, protein bars in the staff fridge as opposed to cookies.
Absolutely.
But there's so much more than that. So that's great that you're bringing that awareness.
Yeah, and I know you love your cookies, so that's a really important thing.
I do love my cookies.
Balance is really important.
Yes.
Yeah.
I try to balance her out by eating a lot of meat.
Oh, I see. Got it.
So we're really quite balanced.
Balance
the
in
two
the
of us,
family.
yeah.
It's really good. Yeah.
Okay, Melanie, so we asked you, what's your favorite movie? And you said...
The Princess Bride.
So what do you love about that movie? I do love it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I have to
never
be...
seen it.
Oh
You've
my
never seen
goodness.
it?
Never seen it.
Really?
Well, I've never seen a lot of movies
So
too.
I have no commentary on this one.
Okay. I think it's one of those movies that really, at its core, it's not about major graphics or huge actors. It's really just a cute little love story that's so much fun. But I have to be honest and tell you, the reason I love this movie so much is it's my husband's favorite movie.
Yeah.
Ah.
We could bring him in the car. He can recite it word from word, start to
Really?
finish. Yeah. But we have this cute little saying that kind of started between us when we were dating. And he would always say, "As you wish," and it took me a while to figure out where that came from, but that is really why it's my
And
favorite.
it's from Princess Bride.
It's from The Princess Bride.
Oh,
yeah.
that's hilarious. I
Yeah.
love it.
And it's a good husband thing to learn, so I would suggest
There you go.
watching it.
Did you take notes, a mental note?
I used to tell Michelle, "Don't cry, shop girl," when she owned her shop from Who's Got
Yeah.
Mail. You've got mail. Don't
Yeah,
cry,
don't
shop
cry,
girl.
shop girl. That's a good one. Yeah.
That's one of my.
You got to do the
favorite
little tear swipe.
Yeah,
too
I
at
do.
the
Oh,
same time.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best part. You guys moved to Airdrie in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
So what brought you to good old Airdrie?
Well, my family's from BC. My husband's from New York, and we were living in Carre. And my husband was really looking for some movement in his career and was offered a position in Calgary.
Oh, okay.
So as many people do, you come and you look all over Calgary and all the surrounding areas. And we had stopped in to do a house visit, and our neighbor came out and introduced ourselves. Her name is Barb. She's amazing. And she's really one of the reasons, just the community feeling of having someone welcome us. We're just looking at the house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it really just introduced us to Airdrie in a really positive way. So when we stopped and looked around and noticed that the schools looked close to homes, and when you went for lunch, people were friendly and sociable. It was a really easy decision.
Cool.
Oh, that's awesome. So you mentioned that you love the Beatles,
I
particularly Imagine.
Yeah.
What do you love about them?
I grew up in the 70s, so aged me a little bit, and just simply love the fact that John Lennon shared so many insights about living a simple life. And this song just reminds me that you can imagine anything for yourself. I'll get teary-eyed. I love the Beatles.
Yeah.
So, our kids grew up to the Beatles as their soundtrack of life. Yeah, but just a good reminder of people living your life for what they believe in and not, getting involved in things that don't matter to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
This year, you are part of the Smart Start.
Yes.
program.
I'm so excited. To
Congratulations
be there.
on
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
So, what are you hoping to get out of or achieve by going through the Smart Start program?
Well, there's two things. The first thing is that every great business person or a successful business person does it through learning from other people.
Yep.
The second thing is I'm really bad at asking for help. And it's something that I learned so much in my own journeys that I really need to get better at asking for help and being vulnerable. And it's totally okay when people say no. And what a great opportunity, then Smart Start, to be surrounded by my peers, experts in our field, and amazing business people in our community that have waded through everything. They may not be experts, but they've waded through and got out the elbow grease and made things happen. So really excited to be part of the program.
Oh, that's awesome. I think you're going to love it. So,
Melanie, Life of Wellness. How do people know it's time to call you?
Okay, I have the easiest analogy for this. Do you remember the movie The Matrix?
Yep.
Okay, so here we are. We're sitting in front of you. You have two choices. You can take the blue pill, totally stay where you are, not change anything, not really want to be awakened to what's available to you. Or you can take the red pill. This is where you're going to dive through that rabbit hole, and this is where awareness is going to come from. We're not talking about going into the past and looking at therapy. That's different. We're looking at what's happening right now. What are my patterns? What's causing stress for me or depression for me? And how can I do something differently about it? That's the red pill. And at the end of that, you don't even have to do anything. You may get through that awareness and say, okay, that's all I needed. Or you may want to create some change and create some strategies. Or you may want to go back to taking your blue pill again and saying, that's enough for right now. That's all I can handle right now. And all of those are good, but that's how you know when to call me.
that's awesome. I love that.
Well, now we know when they're supposed to call you, but what number do they call you on?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, so you can call me at 403-473-8679. You can also check out my website at lifeofwellness.ca.
Thank you so much for joining us in the car and giving us an opportunity to learn more about you, but also for being willing to share with the community.
Well, thank you so much. I love this riding in cars with cars. The first time I saw it, I knew we had to chat. It was so much fun.
There's a big boy.
Where? Oh, it's a big boy.
Oh, look at a big boy.
Oh, it's a big boy. Look, it's a
it's a
big
big
dog.
boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
such a big boy.
He's definitely got some mastiff.
A
He's
little bit, yeah.
He's got mastiff.
It's a big boy.